Hey, everybody. I am so excited today. I would like to introduce my new friend, Mr. Dean Clark from Hoboken, New Jersey, has decided to join our organization at EXP. Welcome, Dean.
Thank you so much for having me, Tina. A pleasure.
Yeah. So I just want to tell everybody what a rock star Dean is. He is classically trained through the Mike Ferry organization, just like me. So I actually met him through another rock star female agent, Emily Brown, who he is role play partners with. So she wasn't able to be here today, but Dean is a rock star. I mean, I think he's on track already 62 units this year, which is crazy good. That's about 40 million in Hoboken. And then you just started a team. You've got a couple agents. They're rocking it. You're starting. So Dean, tell us a little bit about your 11-year journey in real estate so far, where you started, where you are,
Mhm.
and where we think that you're going.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I mean, really, Tina, thank you, and it's honestly an honor to be a part of your organization first and foremost. I mean, I looked at so many different models, and this was clearly the right choice and the right decision. So where I came from was was on a team. So this is what I was a buyer's agent on a team for my first 6 years of my 11-year career when I was at Caul Banker before. And then I went on my own with REMAX, and I just started the team about like a little over a year ago, really, from an agent recruitment perspective. And the one thing I will say is that being a team leader is not what it's all cracked up to be all the time. There's a lot of things that, man, that just come your way. You're just like, I did not expect that, and and then some days that are just completely boring, and you're just like, this is what I have to do. These are but it is what it is. There's everything is a trade-off, of sorts. And so I think the way I saw this business going from here was that it's going to be team leaders and team players. And you have to kind of pick your choice of how you want to run the business, because it's
Right.
going to be very difficult to compete with a big team leader if you're an individual agent just doing your own thing.
Right.
There will be a place for that, but it's going to be like an iBuyer type of thing. It's like 10% of the market will go to that individual agent versus being with a team player or a team leader. And so that's kind of the overall vision that I see in the future, at least in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, they're what we
So
call teamrages, right? So they're teams, but
yeah.
they're functioning as brokerages. And you're starting to see brokerages function as teams where they're doing 50-50 splits because the profitability is in there. What did our coach always tell us about broker owners?
Well, what they basically that I mean they need to get paid too. I mean I don't
Yeah, or
remember how.
they're broker than their
Yeah,
agents. Mike,
right,
that's it. Yeah.
that's right,
Mike
yeah,
Mike says that all the time. The brokers are broker than their agents. So I know you and I have talked before, like we didn't really
right,
want to own a brokerage, but the team
yeah.
is you can help bring the knowledge from your brain to that. So I love that you have
Well,
both
I
sides.
and actually I considered doing that. So that was one of my decisions when I was looking at the gamut of everyone that was on the marketplace.
Right.
Every company you could think of that has a name that you've heard about, I talked to every single person. It was 6 to 7 brokerages in total that I did talk to.
Yeah.
And what I saw though with this was that there was just a better way of doing the business, a better way for also really longevity. I think
Right.
that a lot of agents that are deciding on where to go and what to do, they
Mhm.
don't realize that this is about how do I play this game as long as humanly possible.
Right.
And if you're not in the right vehicle for that, then every other model is going to come and go, or they're not going to have the best splits. Just doesn't it doesn't add up. And so I just found that this was the right path, at least for us and in the team and me. So it was
Yeah.
the right choice.
Well, and you had said
Yeah,
something when we were talking. You said, I felt like I needed permission to be able to have that bigger vision. So
yeah.
unpack that a little bit about like where you were at and why now, why EXP now?
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, there was no one in my sphere, in my network, that was telling me, "Oh, you should go switch brokerages, look at this EXP thing, or do whatever." It was very much like stay in your lane, do
Hmm.
what you are like taught to do. You were so good on the phones, you were so good at doing this. Just keep doing that. Why would you switch
Right.
anything?
Right.
Right? But then I saw someone like people like you, and I was so attractive to the fact that you did so much personal production, and then somehow you parlayed that into this mega team doing crazy business. And I said, well, that's great, but why do I have to start when I do 100+ deals? Why not start when I can do my 50 to 60, and because I'm on my way to 100 anyway. So
Exactly.
it's just a matter of, and then I said, okay, is the brand, the brokerage, really giving me all these leads in order for me to produce this at this level? And I said, every single opportunity that I personally have generated is personally generated.
Right,
It's not
right,
from the company. And
right.
so as much as I thought the brand made me have that like accumulation effect happen, and that like that rocket fuel, it was quite the opposite. The rocket fuel was my mindset, was my
Yes.
actions, was my skill set. And
Yes.
so with EXP, it just I there was a model that I finally can be, as opposed to opening up my own brokerage, and I
Mhm.
can transfer my systems to in any marketplace I want to go, and it just makes perfect sense in that way. So
Well, and it's so
yeah,
visionary of you to actually unpack that. Because what I find, we coach a lot of agents and they're in that grind. They're 60 deals. And then their coach is like, keep in the game, keep in the game. And you're
yeah.
going, wait a minute, I'm just gonna keep in the game, but what's the exit strategy? What's the plan? Where am I going? And
You,
it's right.
yeah, and so I think that to even unpack this even further is that when I come from like a finance background,
Yeah,
so they teach you numbers, but they don't teach you how to sell. But one
right,
thing I learned by learning how to sell, but I still know numbers, is that you need to release any resistance from like any friction in the
right,
process. The
right,
best businesses in the world have the less friction in the assembly line, in the manufacturing plant. So the
right,
less friction you have. So what is friction, right? Friction is not having the ability for me to reinvest that over 6 figures that I paid to
right,
REMAX to basically go back into my business
right.
and hire the right. So there's all these like different things that you just don't realize until you look up one day and like turn like, wait a minute, I could have bought an investment property with this capital. I could have invested back into my business. I mean, and then you see what you can do for other people. And then
Right.
it's like, wait a minute, if this is going to work for me as well as it does for Tina, as well as it does for, Curtis, Mark, Emily, then it's going to work for literally everyone from me as well on. So, and if
Absolutely.
I start in 5 years when I think I'm ready,
Right.
right? And of course we know about what does Mike Ferry always say, with how much you should be increasing your production every single year.
20%.
20%. But
Yep.
then I thought to myself, why only 20%? Is
Right.
that to make the coaches make them feel better about what they're telling, or is it
Or
about
keep
the
doing
fact
coaching.
that, or keep doing coaching? And
Right.
then, but when you look at it so I go from 30 deals, 40 deals, so it's 20%. So it's like every like 10 to 15 deal increase that you're going to be getting until you get to
Right.
100 or plus. And then I said, that's another 5, 6 years of my life. In
Right.
5, 6 years, my kids are going to be that much older,
Right.
and it doesn't add up to, it didn't add it just doesn't add up to me.
Right.
So I said, what is the best model that has the less friction possible for you to be a powerhouse of an agent, for anyone to do that? And that was EXP.
Yeah. And we're seeing 200% growth, like why, like you said, why do you have to make those little,
Exactly.
because the knowledge wasn't there, that knowledge vehicle, right? So you said to me, what I love about this, you mean I get to pick your brain and Dan Beer and Curtis Johnson and Chuck Fazio and Mark Z and Curtis. Yeah. You get to, like, literally we go from being part of the brokerage, which we're the leverage for the brokerage, right? We're the leverage for REMAX. You paid 100 grand a year. And I always laugh when agents go, yeah, but they gave me an office, and I'm like, yeah, how much did you pay for that office? Let's divide 100,000 times 12, and you're paying 8 grand a month for that office, and it's a 10 by 10,
Mm-hmm.
little tiny room. And so when they
Mm-hmm.
start to understand that the value of the brokerages has been disseminated, right? It's just or decimated. It's not there anymore. They go, okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to take that money and reinvest it, and you
Yeah.
invested it in the financial side. You gave yourself more financial gain. You gave yourself all these coaches, which I call it the ALC, the Agent Leadership Council. Now you have these mentors, and you were going to pick your brain. And there's things that Dean has said to me. I'm like, that's smart. Now I get to take his brain and then go work on my team too. And so it's this exchange that I just love,
Yeah,
right?
and I can already tell you from personal experience so far, just being a month into this process,
Yeah.
or a little bit less even. I mean, it's less than that. I mean, the amount of support that you have shared, Emily has shared, everyone in this upline and everyone in the company. I thought, look, I'm from Jersey, so I can say it. I thought it was all what we call fugazi. Like, it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
fake. It was all superficial. There's
what's
no
the
one's going to
catch?
support
What's
you.
the catch?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, oh, this is all nonsense, all BS, right?
Right.
But then I was like, oh my God, this is actually for real. Tina is still talking to me. Oh my God, Michelle Sayward is still talking to me. We're still actually doing this in a big way.
Yes.
And then I look into the virtual world and I'm like, this is amazing. And you know what's so interesting? Who's been reaching out? This is another thing I said to myself as well. I have young kids, right?
Yeah.
So this is also part of my decision from a legacy perspective.
Yeah.
I said, what are my kids doing right now? What is the behavior that they have? And it's funny because I got this from Gary Vee, and he talked about that. He's like, look at what the 20, 19-year-olds are doing, 18-year-olds are doing, because in 5 years, they will be 24, 25, going into the workforce. I was just there not too long ago, and I'm saying to myself, what was I doing then, right? So what they're doing is they're on iPads, they're on all these different things. And for the first time, we have a company that is solely based on the cloud. It is into the future. It is in the metaverse. We have our own metaverse, guys.
Right. The first.
I mean, Facebook first, and Facebook changed their name to Meta because it's so powerful and they see that as a future. So I guess the point of saying that really, Tina, was because I just want everyone to know I'm getting calls from kids in college right now. Hey, Dean, I found you. I see that you're doing EXP now. What is going on? I'm like, why are they calling me? And by the way, when I ask them that question, it's only us and like one other company, and that's it. They're not talking to anyone else. So guys, this is the future. Like literally, it's happening as we speak. And if you're not on the train, you will get left behind, in my opinion.
That's such a good point. I want to bring this up because before I made the decision, I studied the history of real estate. Like, what real estate agent sits there and studies the history? We don't care. We just want to go sell a home. And so I was like,
yeah, but we're nerds though.
Yeah, we're nerds. So I love research. And I was like, EXP is half the size of Keller Williams right now. It's half the size of the largest brokerage in the world. The largest brokerage in the world in 2006 was 65,000 agents. Between 2006 and 2015, Keller Williams had the biggest growth those 10 years, because agents, like you just said, picked up the phone and went, I'm going to go to that company because I'm going to get the best training. I'm going to get, that's where the recruiters didn't even have to be good. People just walked in the door. And now you're starting to see a little bit of attrition, at KW. Great company still. You're seeing it at Century 21. We just brought over a whole Century 21 office. So you're seeing that happen because now those young people are saying, that's the place to go. I get stock, I get revenue share, I get Dean's brain. He's going to mentor me. Like what agents, top agents show up every single week to teach the brokerage how to sell homes? What top agents at any brokerage show up every week? They don't.
And let's just call it for what it is. There's not even a financial incentive model for in any other company that allows you and me to do this, like for other people, right? So that's also part of it. Like you think, like, why would you just come in and help me out? Well, that's what it is. It's literally designed in every way. Like I also underestimated the thoughtfulness on the financial comp plan within EXP. I didn't realize how powerful it actually is, because you can talk a big game, you can talk to it, but when you look at the stock, you look at what you get with the rev share, you look at what you get with the cap, and then it's like, oh, and then by the way, they strategically designed it. And I know some other, copycat companies are out there, and they're doing it like, oh, you can get all your money in the front end of the rev share, let's say, versus the back end. Well, but guys, that is a big issue for me. So that as soon as you're done recruiting, then you're going to be done. You have no incentive to keep on pushing this forward and grow this to where it needs to be, because until we're a household name, then who's going to keep pushing that to become a household name? You won't. Right. And so anyway, I think that that to me is just, there's just so many benefits around that financial comp plan. I was just like, whoa, like it was almost too good to be true, to be honest. That's what I said to you. I think you and many people, I'm like, this is
can't be.
Yeah. And actually,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say something funny though too. I actually because someone, when I made the announcement that we had switched and everything, and I even said to them, I was like, when I first heard about this, I first heard the name. It was an agent that was representing the buyer on one of my listings here, and it was EXP, and this was back in 2017 or 18. And I said, what is this? I said, this sounds like Foxtons to me. If you remember Foxtons, this sounds. So it was like a 1%, like I had no idea what it was.
But
I had no idea what it was. But I just assumed that anything outside of the tellers, the REMAX, the Caul bankers, like you were just nothing.
Discount.
And here I am, and I'm just like, wow. I was so short-sighted at that time, but you need to get there in order to like get the work through that. Also, I think it's also appropriate at this point in the conversation to talk about how I did look at 6 to 7 brokerages at least.
I know
I mean,
you
I
did.
actually I looked at 10. I ended up talking with 6 to 7 to see what they can offer. The big luxury brands, the normal brands, where I currently was, and I looked at everything. And because the consequences that at least I have personally, if I mess up this decision, it's a big consequence. My family doesn't eat, then my agents don't eat, then I mean it's a big oh
Big
shit.
change. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's a big,
I
it's a
just
big
cut
change.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a big change. So it was just something that I took my due diligence over the course of literally probably 4 to 6 months. I looked at every line item, and look, I'll just say this. This is going to sound very nerdy and dorky,
Yeah.
but I actually reviewed Compass's, EXP, and Realogy's 10K financial statement.
I know you did, and I'm so happy that you're here with us because you did the due diligence that I didn't.
Because I did the due diligence, and I was like, what's the free cash flow here? What are they actually working with? Is this for real? Is this not? You know, and we have no debt. Like it's just all like it's all built from organic growth. I mean, and by the way, talking about the agent count, I looked at that as well.
Yeah.
When you look in North America, there's 176,000 KW agents, and REMAX is right behind them at about 140, I think, like that. And then you have EXP coming up the heels, and like you said, we're about halfway there, right? Yeah. So just think about that. It took them how many years to get this much market share? Like but when something 50, like,
right? Yeah,
you know, and you guys know what Apple is, you know what Microsoft is, you know what Bitcoin is. Have you heard of SafeMoon? Have you heard of any other hardware computer thing? No, you know of the unicorns that actually made Amazon.com. And these are tried and true. That's what EXP is into the real estate brokerage world, in my opinion.
No, it is. And what I like, you know, some people are like, well, there's all these copycats coming now. And I'm starting to see independent brokerages in my market. They're doing rev share plans. They're going to KV Core, like anything that they can do to kind of get with what we're doing, which is fine. It's totally necessary for them to survive, to do what we're doing. But in my mind, it's like, why would I buy, you know, a fake Louis Vuitton bag? Like, just go buy the bag. Just go work at
100%.
You know, 100%. And don't try to become what you're not. Just go work with them. So last thing I'll say is you mentioned the one thing, your legacy plan, you and your wife want to move potentially to, you know, Florida or something one day, and you were thinking about that bigger vision. Talk about that a little bit with one brokerage under one, you know, one office, really nationally and internationally.
Yeah. So I'll start from the very beginning. So this was as a result that my wife is from Massachusetts. So she's from already grew up out of state. Yeah. She's not from Jersey. So for us, we travel, we get out with the kids. We just like being worldly and just kind of being out there, right? And so for us, having multiple homes in different locations, that's very exciting for us. Yeah. But I will say that from this perspective, one of my dreams, one of my goals was to be part of an organization that had the ability to, and the structure to allow me to not get so much permission from higher ups and saying, can I do this? Can I do that? Oh, hey, CEO of this company, can I start this like mega team in Florida if I wanted to, or, you know, Massachusetts? And, you know, but it's like, go and do it. Like, basically the platform is designed to go as fast as you want it to go.
Right.
And that was so important. So that is kind of where, for us, EXP made it even more so like a good decision to say, oh, and then by the way, if I want to get into a luxury market now, well, Tina, Caul, and friends are, you know, part of EXP Luxury that just came out. And I said to myself, well, isn't that interesting? You know, I think one of the things we talked about was, you know, brand wise, like how do you get around that? But guess what, guys? It's luxury now.
Like,
so
well, and you are luxury. Yeah. Like I try to tell people, you don't need to have a brand say they're luxury to be luxury. You're either luxury or you're not, and you understand 100%. That demographic. But what people miss, Dean, the biggest thing they miss, their business is their business. I don't care if you're an individual at Century 21, REMAX, EXP, 123, ABC. Your business is you. You're plugging in the EXP platform to empower that business. That's all we are. We're a platform. We're not even like, you know, we're not the traditional company that's going to promise you all these things and give you offices and take all your money. We're a platform to empower the business.
Okay, so that's a great segue into one of the last things I want to talk about, because that is so true. And so this is what
Don't forget your
I
prospecting group at the end. I want to talk about that.
oh, we will talk
We'll
about,
wrap
yes,
up
for
with that.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So the one thing I will say that is that the platform in EXP is already out there.
Yes.
It's fully transparent. There's nothing more to talk about. It wasn't like Tina gave me a better deal and some other agent. I mean, it's like there's so many companies, I'm not going to say names, but they'll give one agent one offer, another agent another offer, and it's like, well, why did he get that? Why did he get that? Guess what? Everyone's on the same playing field right now.
Right.
And so, and also as I got better in what I'm doing, day to day and team leader in sales in general, I said, well, where are the top players going? Where is the elite of the elite? Because I can be surrounded by the same people all the time, or be part of the elite crowd and now compete at the higher level. Because guess what, guys? You are who you surround yourself with. Just keep that in mind. That is tried and true. And so when you're around us, Emily, Tina, and the upline here, you cannot, like, who better than that. So the platform's already built out. There's no special offer you're going to get. That's the beauty of it. It's already there.
And we're responsible by not buying agents. That's buying agents.
Yes.
To me, I go, how good is the brand when you have to go buy an agent? We haven't bought one yet. We haven't bought you.
And that's so incredible to me.
Right?
That's so
it's
incredible.
Like you came in your own free will. You paid $140 just like I did.
Yeah. And by the way, not only that, I'm sure you were offered mega bucks to probably go to a bigger brand. I was paid for my production mega bucks to go into, we're talking multiple six figures, to go into these other big brands. But why would they do that? It's because they know that the only way to get you into these bigger brands now is to give you this big blank check of sorts, and then say, go and do that, as opposed to saying, no, you are autonomous. You are an individual. We support you, and this is how we're going to make you better.
Exactly.
And to me, those values, I align with that so much more than just writing a check and saying, oh, Big Daddy's going to give you a check, and you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Which is like, I don't need the money, and I don't need it's like a what do you call it? Like a hard money lending loan. Like, I don't need the hard money. I'm good. I want to know that they'll support my business and make it better. So let's wrap up, Dean. I know it's Saturday. You probably got to go back to your 4 beautiful girls. So you and Emily are rock stars. Emily is one of my business partners, and she is just an expired listing machine. She calls the for sale by owners. You and her have a group that you meet every single morning. And since she's met you and been in that group, she's changed. Like, you really were a great mentor for her and really kept her accountable. She needed that accountability. I think accountability is the #1 thing that agents need. They need proof of concept, accountability, and they need a community. You and Emily are starting a group. Can you talk a little bit about what that is and how people can reach out to you if they want to be part of that group, so they can learn how to hunt in the new changing market we're going to be in?
For sure. Yeah. So the group is called Phone Warriors. And what we do every single day is, it's an exclusive group to prospectors that are going out there lead generating proactively for their own business. And so we have people in all different markets. I think we're up to 22 people actively right now. It was just Emily and I, and then one of my good friends, Rich, and it was just three of us for months. And then, with your help and just talking about it, so if you want to get part of this group and hold yourself accountable, we do this 5 days a week. We're usually popping on between 8 and 8:30 in the morning, because the early bird gets the worm. And then we go until about 12. But I have it on, and I email back to everyone. Like it's basically, it's like an all day thing. So if you want to pop back in there, someone's in there, hey, I'm feeling kind of sluggish right now. It's like one of those groups that just keeps you going to make those calls that you need to make. And you can email me. So my email, dean@deanclarkgroup.com. And I will include you into the group. And we have some rules that I can talk about later, but basically it's for if you want to build your business, or at least just kind of get an idea of how to build anything or get listings and appointments made like clockwork. You come into our group and you will see how it's done.
I love that. I love that. And I know you and Emily were talking about, even myself kind of contributing, maybe once a week doing coaching, because right now it's for accountability. But once a week for an hour, like, help those agents that are struggling. Or, Dean, why did you say that? Or how did you do that? Because at the end of the day, we're salespeople. This is sales organizations running. So, so you guys are the masters at it. I'm so proud to be partnered with you. I can't wait to grow New Jersey and grow your
Oh yeah.
brokerage, make it huge and all around the world, because we have people now in France and India and just talking to somebody in Italy. So
Yeah. Oh, you know what's so funny too? So it's so funny. Our office manager said to one of the agents who's Polish, she said, "Hey, did you know? Did you find a month ago EXP Poland just opened up?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was just, she was like, "Really? That's amazing." So she's gonna now she in her head, she's like,
Oh,
"Oh
I
my
know.
God, I can help agents. I can help agents in Poland now, back in my home country." I was like, "Yes, that is the beauty of EXP." And there's no borders, guys.
No,
This is just
so
like, you can go
cool.
anywhere. So she literally can start reaching out to people in Poland, needs no permission from anybody. And
Right.
like,
Right.
guys, that is what
Changing someone's life. Like, think about being the first of 100 agents in Poland or in a country. Like how amazing the opportunity is. It's like we have
yeah,
agents here that make $1 million a month because they got to our company 6 years ago. Imagine you're the first in France or India or Italy or wherever. We're in 23 countries. Like, how cool
yeah.
is that? That's so cool.
It's amazing. And the fact that you don't need to be Harvard educated, in the
Right.
Ivy League,
Right.
have a master's, have a
Right.
doctorate to
Or
go and
pay
do
or
these
pay 250 grand to open a brokerage.
100% or more. It's always more than that. We all know
Yeah, yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right? And so it's like, guys, this is, to me, there's no other place that I feel comfortable. And so far, I'm already seeing this. I'm already getting the support and the systems and everything that I thought was possible here already. And so I'm super excited, and I want to thank you and honored to be part of the Tina Caul and Emily Brown's downline. So it's going to be fun.
Well, thank you. We are so glad you're here. You're a rock star. And I can't wait a year from now when we do your update to see how big the team is, your sales,
Yeah,
your experience. So, all right, partner. Thank you. Happy Saturday. And
you too.
we'll talk to you soon on our mastermind.
All right, great. Talk to you.